Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move to Dr. Spears, who has again a scholarship named in his name, and he'll share with us about the students he will be awarding in that category.
Okay, but first thing I'm going to say a few words.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's not about these particular students.
Yes, that's fine.
There's been, you young people have had a unique experience during the past year. And that experience, of course, caused a lot of catastrophes. But it also should have pointed out one major thing to you. And that is the role that science has to play in the type society that we live in today. And tomorrow, it'll be even more so. And if you paid attention to some of the scientists that were on TV talking, you would not have seen many people with gray hair. Most of those people were about 30 years old. Why? Because the science they were talking about has only been around for about 10 years. And that will be even more so when you graduate and go into the workforce, because science is an exponential thing. It just builds on itself. Every time you answer one question, another question or two pops up, and you're seeking the answers to those questions. And that's why it's an exponential relationship. And the part of the curve that we own now is almost a linear perpendicular line with the base. And that means that you students are going to never stop having to learn, because it's going to be advancing so fast that the only way you're going to keep whatever position you're in is to work, study, and ask questions. And that's the point I want to talk about just for a few minutes right now. And that's asking questions, because that is what science is based upon. It's not based upon textbooks. It's not based on Nobel Prize winners. It's about asking questions of things that occur in nature. That's why we call it natural science. But when you're asking those questions, it's not like what's going to be playing on the theater tonight or something like that. You're asking questions that are based upon observations. They're based upon a knowledge base that you already have, and your ability to put things together to come up with a possible answer to a question, and to know how to go about answering a complicated question. And that's one great thing that the Scholar Academy has done to students for 21, almost 21 years now. I've looked at some of the research that kids did, and I was just totally amazed. To be truthful, I never thought our students, any undergraduate students, would really be capable of doing some of the stuff they did. And then to go present the papers that they did in national meetings and actually come out on top of people in the Ivy League schools, I thought was fantastic. And it just points out the fact that the Scholars Academy plays a tremendous role at the University of Houston downtown, because it allows students to come in and ask some very difficult questions that haven't been answered yet. And they learn how to proceed in an organized fashion. Yeah, that's the scientific method, to come up with answers. And sometimes, a lot of times, they come up with the wrong answer. And then they have to turn around and figure out, how do I get the right answer? And science, that's what science is about. Most of the time, you come up with the wrong answer. If you luck out, you come up with the right answer after a lot of hard work. Now, the other thing I wanted to just say a few words about is, we've already mentioned how the Scholars Academy got started. Dr. Usman mentioned that. But there was one step before that, and that had to do with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Now, if you wonder what the heck does the U.S. Department of Agriculture have to do with the Scholars Academy, well, it has a lot to do with it. And I'll just briefly mention that. One of the best presidents, in my opinion, the best president that UHD has ever had was Dr. Max Castillo. And back in 2008, Dr. Castillo received a notice from the U.S. Department of Agriculture about trying to get more students to follow careers that would prepare them to do research in agricultural science or agriculture-related science. And so they were starting this unique funding program, and they were sending an invitation to the university to apply. Well, very quickly, Dr. Castillo called me up on the telephone and said, I need you to come see me. We need to talk about research for the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And I thought, what the hell is he talking about? And anyway, so pardon the French. And I went over there, and he shows me this information that he received from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And he says, Larry, we got to apply for this. This sounds like something your people would be really interested in. I said, Max, we don't teach one course in agriculture. We don't teach one course that even relates to agriculture. And I said, not only that, neither does any campus in the University of Houston system. And I said, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is going to be expecting us to talk about the things that we teach that relate to agriculture. And I said, we're not going to say anything about that. We don't have anything to say. Oh, no, Larry, we can do something. We can do something. You're a scientist. You're supposed to think. Come up with an answer. So I went back and I got two faculty and called them in. And I said, look, Max is not going to shut up until we come up with something. I said, I know we probably don't stand a chance for a competition like this, but let's think. And so we went out and had a few beers and did some creative thinking. And finally, I'm not sure which one of us came up with the idea, but the testing of seeds. The testing of seeds for agriculture requires fairly decent laboratory space and decent laboratory equipment to do the proper testing. And I said, you know, if we could come up with something related to the testing of seeds, maybe we could get some money. And so anyway, we submitted a proposal that was said, basically talked about testing of seeds important to agriculture to encourage more students to go into agriculture-related science. So we laughed about that, but it satisfied our president, and he submitted it. And so sure enough, we were one of the very few people that were funded, and we started the program. And we started with 13 students. And the model that we used, that we came up with, is the exact model that y'all use 20 years later in the Scholars Academy. 13 students, 12 of them graduated with science degrees. One person didn't. She was from Mexico and she had to go back to take care of her mother, and we lost track of her. But 12 out of 13 people graduated, and they've all done just fine in science-related professions. So you never know how you're going to have to use, what type of questions you're going to have to answer in science. And some of them may sound silly, but the next proposal we wrote established the Scholars Academy. And we used the information that we had from the Department of Agriculture program. And that's it. Now you're back 21 years, almost 21 years later, and you're still doing exactly what we proposed to do. And that tells a lot. And there's even a little school in Austin, Texas, that now uses the same exact model that we established.
Wow.
For their academy. And it's the same model, exactly. They try to get students involved with research their first year. And it's been a successful model for them. Anyway, so that's all I have
Wonderful.
to say about that.
Wonderful.
And I have 3 names to read out. and a little
Okay.
bit about the names. The first name is Min Nguyen. He receives one of the Outstanding Student Research Awards. He's an undergraduate student. He's a transfer student in computer science. He's also a member of the Texas National Guard, and during the COVID crisis, he was deployed each semester to aid nursing homes and in other capacities. And it looks like we might even be using the National Guard on a permanent basis in the capital of our country. He maintains a GPA of 4.0. He's participated in a number of things, virtual national conference, won an award in data science competition, and as a group member with 2 other SA alumni, he's performed and mentored research under Dr. Chang and Dr. Feng, and he receives $1,000 for one of the Outstanding Research Student Awards. Congratulations.
Great. Min, are you here?
Yes, I'm here, Dr. Parker.
Yes.
Thank you, Professor Spears, Dr. Parker, Dr. Nakamura, and Scholar Academy. Well, I'm surprised that I don't even know that I'm gonna receive the scholarship today. Thank
But you'll take it, right? Yes.
You earned it.
You earned it. Very nice.
The second student is Karina Alvarez. She's an undergraduate chemistry major with almost a 4.0 average, 3.923. She has worked with Dr. Trupan as part of a mentored research program, and she gets the Outstanding Research Award for chemistry.
Great.
Congratulations.
Karina, are you here? Okay, I'm marking that one.
Okay.
And your next one.
The third award goes to Meherit Tadasi. He's an undergraduate chemistry major, worked as a research leader under the guidance of Dr. Benavides. Is Maria there?
Maria, are you here? She may come later.
Okay. Maria is part of the Texas Workforce Commission research grant, and she has partnered tutoring chemistry through the SI program and the Natural Science Tutors program. Her
Great.
GPA is 3.766. Another
yeah, I need to say
tutor.
Yeah.
Mer-
Okay, Mercy, are you here?
I'm here.
Good.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to receive this award.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Spears.
I'd like to say one more thing.
Yes, go ahead.
I was department chair there for a long time and got to do a whole lot of things. And then when the Scholars Academy started, initially I did a whole lot of things. And probably, well, no, not probably. The best thing I think I ever did for the Scholars Academy is sitting right in front of me on the TV screen, and that's to hire Mary Jo Parker.
Thank you.
And I thank you.
I do a heart to you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. I know Dr. Spears said, are you still there? And I said, don't say that too loud. Dr. Usman keeps asking me, are you still here? Anyway, it's a wonderful program and it's so student centered. It's just a miracle really for our university, and you know, try as we might to replicate it. People, if they would take it as it is, I think it would really work everywhere. But nonetheless, thank you both, Dr. Christmas, Dr. Spears, for being part of our program. We appreciate it so much.